I mentioned that you are also faith-based speaker, and you give and you offer also one-on-one coaching for those that are going through various stages in their lives, and they may need help in that way. Now that you have been going through it yourself and having gained some knowledge, can you tell us more about your public speaking, and if somebody wants to contact you, how they can benefit from your advice?
Yeah, the biggest part about it is drawing men out. We have this amazing ability to isolate ourselves. We think we've got it figured out. We don't need any help. We're good. We even talk to each other like that. You say to me, Matthew, how you doing? I go, good, but I'm suffering over here. I'm struggling in addiction, but I'm not telling you that. I'm saying I'm fine, but we're not fine. In fact, most of us have a really hard time bringing up anything that's bothering us, but we need to be able to do that. I want you to be able to do that. The main purpose of that is for me to get out there and move you in that direction. Voices in my life, speakers or authors are pushing me to rethink when I'm sitting in as one of the audience, and it challenges me no matter what. It makes me rethink, am I doing this the right way? Should I rethink this? Who do I need to go to? What do I do when I walk out of here? And I want that for you so that you can actually start to move in a direction where without it, maybe you wouldn't. And my prayer and my hope is that men's ministry leaders and lead pastors alike understand that this is so pervasive that it's better than 50% of men dealing with this every day. Even if dad was in the home, still feeling emotionally detached. And me being out there is very purposeful to push you, men. Get out of isolation. Let's work on this in community. Let's do this together. And beyond that, what's the second part of the question?
How did your public speaking ministry begin?
I can practically remember where I was sitting when God started to stir in me. And as I shared earlier, just 2 words, speaking engagements. And I'm thinking, all right, Lord, are you talking about in my professional life? Are you talking about outside of my professional life? Is this even you? Is this my emotions? What really confirmed it for me was I had a colleague, and we were out having lunch together, and we were talking, just shooting the breeze as you do on lunch with colleagues, and out of nowhere stopped the conversation, looked me dead in the eye, and said, you should be doing speaking engagements. And I go, okay, God, I hear you. That must be you, because that's a little too random not to be a confirmation. And I thought, oh man, all right, well, I better start writing some content and figuring out ways to get out to speak. And what was interesting is there was an engagement that came up where they said, we need video of you speaking. I went into I worked for this company that had fantastic media, put a huge screen behind me, filmed it, and that's all they wanted. Sent it over to them, and they gave me the opportunity. But what was really cool about the opportunity is it was a very large group, and the most intimidating group in my future to speak to. And what God did was the person got ill that was supposed to speak that coming Monday. It was a Friday. They called me up and said, hey, do you want to take his place? I said, heck yeah, I want to take his place. But because it was so close in time, it didn't even give me the opportunity to fear. Said, all right, I gotta go. I get to go do this thing. I gotta prepare, go out and rock and roll. And I just started doing anything and everything that I could, anywhere and everywhere that would have me speak, whether it was on personal content or professional. And probably the biggest jump forward for me was speaking at medical conferences. I actually used to work in sales for I worked with large health systems, the Auroras, the Ascensions of the world, the Baylor Scott and Whites, and I got to speak at a couple medical conferences, and those were the first paid opportunities I had. And as I started to develop it it didn't ever seem to really take shape. I still didn't have an idea of what God really wanted to do with it. But as someone would later tell me, once I arrived in this area, in this ministry, all the preparation from all those speaking engagements, I had done many, and now he has prepared you for this moment to really go out and flourish. And that's all God's been doing, is just blessing my socks off, lets me travel the country and get to talk to men in retreat settings or conference settings. The church is holding its own conference or a men's breakfast or of the like, anything like that. And it's just a blast to do it, and love working with men on an individual basis as well, but speaking to them in these different capacities is wonderful.